to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Aloha. So good to be here with all of you tonight. I want to say thanks to Brett Niles and all of the Linn County Democrats for your leadership. And I want to thank the many hands that go into doing the hard work that makes an event like this possible. Can we please give them a round of applause to show our thanks and gratitude? It's so great to be here. And it's great to be able to see the hard work the Democrats are doing all across the state of Iowa as we head into such a pivotal election. And the responsibility that Iowa voters have to set the tone for this election is great. We are facing increasingly divided times, and we see such hatred, divisiveness, and bigotry swirling around us, so much of it coming from the current occupant of the White House. And it's at times like these, I think it's so important to get back to our foundation, to really look at what binds us all together as Americans, to defeat this darkness with light, to defeat this hate with love. So I begin my conversations always with aloha, not just because I'm from Hawaii, and not because aloha means hello, because it doesn't. People ask me that, does aloha mean hello or goodbye? Which one is it? You guys make up your mind. We greet each other with aloha because of the really deep, powerful meaning within this word. Aloha means I come to you with respect, that I come to you with an open heart, with a recognition that we are all brothers and sisters, that we are all God's children, and that we stand together. Aloha gives us the ability and the inspiration to be able to heal the divisive wounds that are unfortunately tearing our country apart. And inspired by this aloha, we can begin to see the path forward on how we can come together as Americans to solve the great challenges that we face. Dr. Martin Luther King visited Hawaii in 1959 for the first time, and he was very impacted by the aloha that he felt there. And I want to share a brief quote with you that he spoke of when he gave a speech to our state legislature during that visit. He said, "We look to you for inspiration and as a noble example where you have already accomplished in the area of racial justice and racial harmony what we are struggling to accomplish in other sections of the country. And you can never know what it means to those of us caught for the moment in the tragic and often dark midnight of man's inhumanity to man, to come to a place of freedom and dignity and racial justice." When he returned back to the mainland, he spoke of his visit to Hawaii, a state that still continues to be the most diverse state in our nation. The majority of minorities, immigrants, people from all different parts of the world coming together. What in some places might be seen as a recipe for divisiveness, but in Hawaii is a beautiful tapestry of diversity and a melting pot of cultures. Dr. King said when he returned to the mainland, "As I looked at all of these various faces and various colors mingled together like the waters of the sea, I could see only one face, the face of the future." Those powerful words spoke to everyone then as they speak to us now, that we are that future. That call to action that he spoke of then so eloquently is one that inspires and touches our hearts here today about how we move forward together, seeing each other for who we really are, seeing each other as children of God, as brothers and sisters, as fellow Americans, caring for one another. When we think about our country and the founding principles embedded and enshrined within our Constitution, reminding us of our commitment to this proposition of freedom and equality and justice for all, it is this aloha that inspires us and lights that path forward on how we can accomplish that, on how we can continue to strive towards that more perfect union. Because really, when we think about who we are as Americans, and we think about what patriotism actually means, what could be more patriotic than actually caring for and fighting for the well-being of our fellow American? no matter where we come from, no matter our race or ethnicity or religion or who we love or any of these things that are too often used to divide us. What could be more patriotic than working together, raising our voices to take our government back out of the hands of the rich and the powerful and the special interests, and really bringing about this vision that Abraham Lincoln laid out for us, a government of, by, and for the people. This is the kind of future that we have before us if we raise our voices in unison, fighting for leaders in our government that will put people ahead of profits, that will put people ahead of partisan politics, that will look towards actually delivering solutions on the many challenges that we face. This is why I'm running for president. This is the kind of leadership that I seek to bring. As president, I will take on big pharma and big insurance companies who for so long have been profiting off the backs of sick people in this country. People who are struggling and suffering because of their influence on the policies that have not been serving the best interests of the people. We look at the impact on our environment. As president, I will make climate change a priority, stopping this $30 billion a year that we as taxpayers are paying towards big fossil fuel corporations, and instead redirecting those resources into building a truly sustainable, clean, renewable energy future. We're talking about our future. As president, I will end the failed war on drugs. I have the only bipartisan legislation in Congress, thank you, the only bipartisan legislation in Congress that will finally end the federal prohibition on marijuana. This is something that is long overdue and that will have an impact on so many people's lives. You look at the opioid crisis that has taken the lives, that has ruined the lives of so many Americans in this country. We have people getting arrested and getting criminal records for nonviolent minor drug violations like marijuana possession, while you have the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma, one of the companies that has been most responsible for lying and cheating to proliferate their highly addictive opioids on our streets. They walk away scot-free with bags full of money in their pockets. I introduced legislation in Congress called the Opioid Accountability Act that would provide federal prosecutors with the tools they need to hold those responsible accountable and to take their profits and put them directly towards providing the kind of treatment and recovery resources that we so desperately need. This is the kind of government that's possible when we put the well-being of people ahead of all else, when we take profits out of the picture. I just got the 2-minute warning sign. There's so many issues that we want to talk about. There's so many issues that we are concerned with. One that is central to our ability to address the needs of the American people, the needs of our loved ones, is the cost of war. It's something that you're not hearing about very much, but it's one that has taken a toll on every single one of us. I'm a major in the Army National Guard. I've served for over 16 years. And deployed twice to the Middle East, where I personally felt and experienced the terribly high human cost of war. We see the cost of war and the toll that it takes on the people in the countries where we've waged counterproductive wars about overthrowing authoritarian dictators that have actually undermined our national security, strengthening terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. But the cost of war has taken a toll on every one of us. We, as taxpayers, have seen over $6 trillion come out of our pockets to pay for these wars since 9/11 alone, and every single one of these dollars are dollars coming out of our healthcare system, coming out of our schools, coming out of our ability to invest in infrastructure, to address climate change. As president, I will end this regime change war policy, stop trying to be the world's police, work to end this new Cold War and arms race, de-escalate tensions with nuclear-armed countries, and redirect our resources, our taxpayer dollars, back to where they are needed, towards serving the needs of the American people, rebuilding our communities right here at home. There is so much at stake. I appreciate the great work that all of you are doing on the ground every day. I appreciate your being here tonight, the leadership that you are showing. If you want more information, please visit tulsi2020.com. I am grateful and proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with all of you as we are inspired by Aloha in building this bright future together. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Congratulations to the Hall of Fame honorees. Aloha, aloha. Nice to see you. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it.